Guys, we got an air conditioner! We got an air conditioner! Oh my gosh, it's so much cooler in here. Holy crap. We literally tried to stick it out this summer, but there's been way too many heat waves. And like, we've literally been cooking in our own house. So anyways, thank you to everyone who supports our OF because we were able to buy an air conditioner. So thank you. Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kira and I'm so happy you're here. Today, we are gonna be talking about my autism. A couple months ago, I was diagnosed with autism at 26 years old. Isn't that wild? No one clocked it growing up. Everyone was just like, oh, Kira's just the worrier. She's really anxious and like socially anxious and also like anxious in other ways and like sensitive, gifted, blah, blah, blah. All these different words that I now know was just autism. So let's talk about it today. You guys asked me questions. I got all of the questions from Instagram. Keep an eye out for my stories because I always post a story with a question box. If you want to follow me on Instagram, the links are on the screen, as well as my TikTok, as well as my wife and I have a podcast together called A Couple Queers, and we're posting more frequently on there. So if you want to like keep updated on my content, I'll be posting more on there probably than on here. And yeah, let's do it. Let's jump into the question. I hope you guys are doing well. YouTube, I think, is shadow banning my content because of sex ed content that I've been posting. So if you see this, please give me a comment, please share my videos because they're probably not being pushed out right now because YouTube hates sex ed. Anyways, okay. First question I'm gonna answer is a biggie. That's a biggie. Someone asked, how has skill regression and grief impacted you since your diagnosis? Oof. Let me talk to you about skill regression. I feel even more burnt out since I got diagnosed. I don't know why, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like it's almost like, oh shit, this is reality now, like we have to take this seriously, you know what I mean? Like before I could keep like pushing myself and like overworking myself and overbooking myself because I was like, well, it's not like official yet. Like I don't have to listen to my needs yet. But now I'm literally like, I have no choice but to listen to my needs or else like I know that I will put myself into like burnout sickness. I feel like I might have talked about this on my TikTok before, but like burnout sickness for me is like when I've been like working myself too hard, I will put myself into a burnout. But like, I will know that I'm in a burnout when I get like physically sick. Like I will actually get physically sick and usually it's like a cold or a flu sort of thing. But every time I get sick, like, and my immune system is like down, it's because the past like few weeks or few months before I got sick, I was like pushing myself so hard. I almost feel like I do this to like overcompensate for like what I feel like I lack. Like I feel a little bit like behind or like not able to sometimes do all the things that like neurotypical people can do. So I feel like I push myself that much harder in terms of like work and responsibilities, duties, like putting more and more things on my plate. So anyways, back to your question. I think it's just hitting me now like how I need to take a step back and reassess my priorities and minimize the amount of things that I'm doing, prioritize what's most important and do those things and prioritize rest way more. Yeah, so. In terms of grief, I feel like I already grieved my past self before I got diagnosed. Almost like because I knew it was coming, I knew like the diagnosis was coming. I had like a really tough few months there before I got diagnosed, kind of just like understanding like I'm never gonna be able to like go back to the person that I once was, which was like my masked self. So like I was almost like grieving my masking self. But now I'm able to be more my authentic self, so it's all worth it in the end. But yeah, of course, you have to like grieve it. You have to like cry about it. You have to like think about like, oh shit, like, you know, even there's anger because it's like, how did my parents not notice? How come no one noticed? How come like people... Whoa, there's literally like a falcon or something above me. Holy crap. Yeah, like how come no one freaking noticed that I was struggling my whole life? and no one wanted to get me help or a diagnosis. So it sucks. That's a good question. Someone said, have you noticed a difference in the way people treat you if you're open about your diagnosis up front? Ooh, I am like usually pretty open about my diagnosis. Like I don't see a point in like trying to hide it because we need to normalize it, and we need to also like normalize like lower support needs people exist. Not saying that I'm super low support needs, but like, you know, it's a spectrum. Autism is a spectrum, and we don't all act the same or need the same things or look the same. And so I feel like I'm extra upfront about it, and I love to just drop it in conversations casually, because why not? It's literally being like, oh yeah, I'm a lesbian, I have a wife. Sometimes in some circles, like that's still taboo. And in a lot of circles, telling people that you're autistic is also taboo. So I just love to like make people shocked. I notice that when I tell people, they kind of go like, oh, like they have this like taken aback moment, and then they kind of like look at me differently. Like they look at me kind of like trying to figure me out or something. It's really weird. And I notice that people don't like to say the word autism around me unless they're also like kind of in the neurodivergent community. Like people are scared to kind of like ask questions or say the word, which is, I found really weird. And people treat me kind of like tiptoeing around me more. After I tell them I'm autistic, they tiptoe around me. They're kind of probably like, oh, like, you know, this person is like different. What's gonna happen? Are they gonna like, I don't know what they're thinking. But yeah, people definitely treat me differently. It's not in a bad way, but it's in like they take caution. Next question is, how did you get over the imposter syndrome? It's hard out here. I get it. I think that, well, one, getting my diagnosis helped with the imposter syndrome, because I was like, it's literally like a psychologist, a freaking doctor, PhD lady, like gave me this diagnosis. But then also seeing the ways in which I struggle and the ways in which like my brain operates differently validates me every day. Like I will always have like a moment where I'm like, oh shit, yeah, like it's because I'm autistic. And so I feel like just like almost not seeing my blind spots, but like acknowledging the ways in which I'm different than some people helps with the imposter syndrome. Obviously, yeah, getting that diagnosis really helped. And then also starting to make accommodations for yourself, and then realizing, oh shit, like I really needed these accommodations. For example, the air conditioner. I was not doing well. Like I was so overstimulated when the house was just so hot. I was angry, I was freaking out, I was having more meltdowns. Yeah, I was irritable, I was not doing well because I was just so overstimulated with the heat. But like getting an air conditioner is a accommodation. And like since getting it, I realized, oh my goodness, like I deserve and need these accommodations to like function like a person. Because otherwise I'm not a person. No, I'm not saying I'm not a person, but you know what I mean. I hope that answered your question. Oh, and also another thing about imposter syndrome is like not comparing yourself to every autistic person you've seen in the media and stuff, because we're not all the same. Like I said, like every autistic person's so different. We all behave so differently. We all have different like needs, different personalities. And so I think like sometimes we can have imposter syndrome if we see a certain type of autistic person that we can't really relate to, but we think, oh, that's the only one way to be autistic. But that's not true. Like, look at me, look at my wife. Like there's so many other autistic people that get you. Try and find people, creators, people in real life that get you, because that is such a game changer. Ooh, this is interesting. Do you think that autism impacts gender? Are they interrelated? Thank you. I personally believe that they are 100% related, and I don't know like all the facts and like all the science on this, but I have read studies and seen statistics and read articles that say there's a high correlation between trans and non-binary people and autistic people. Like there's a lot of overlap there. I'm not sure if it's the way that we kind of like, just the way that our brain is wired, but I am myself gender fluid. My pronouns are they, she, and I kind of fluctuate between like, if this is, I know the spectrum is a lot bigger than this, but let's say this is man and this is woman. I like fluctuate if this is center in this general like area. Not going all the way to man, but sometimes I do feel more like a man some days. Not directly like a man, but like it's really hard to describe if you don't get it. Like if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, that's fine. But yeah, I am gender fluid and I know a lot of autistic people who are trans or non-binary, even queer. So yeah, there's definitely a correlation. I don't know why, but there's definitely like articles you can like look up to research that. Next question, did you have a hard time in school? That's a great question. I think I almost had to work like 10 times harder. I was also a perfectionist. So like I used all my energy and all my spoons to like do really well in school. I think it was almost a way to like mask over, like I didn't want anyone to think I was dumb. And I feel like it was this like subconscious knowing that I was different and that I am autistic but not being diagnosed, and so almost feeling like no one can find out about this. So I feel like it made me work like 10 times harder to get like straight A's, and I was like an honor roll student. And so since I did so well in school, no one really noticed that I was really struggling, because I would burn myself out and I would get sick and I would get so much social anxiety. I almost feel like the social aspect of school was where I really struggled with a lot. Like I didn't have a ton of friends throughout school, and if I did, I had like 1 or 2 that were like really similar to me and probably also autistic, ADHD, or neurodivergent. But yeah, like there were times when I didn't even want to go out for recess, so I would hide in the bathroom in the stall throughout recess because I didn't want to be around like other kids socializing. Like I was too scared of like socializing. So yeah, I hid in the bathroom. I also, in grade 8, I was a like office helper. So like I would do some like admin stuff at lunch, so I could like stay in at lunch and stay in at recess. And I did that so that I could just like be in my own energy and not have to socialize. So yeah, I think the social aspect was really, really hard for me. I had a lot of panic attacks at school. I had a lot of crying spells at school. I also had bullying at school. So I think like that was really where I struggled with school. But in terms of grades, I got good grades. I just like was studying until midnight every night kind of thing. Like I would literally come home from school, go to dance for like 2-3 hours, and then for the rest of the night do homework. So I was like really exhausted and my mental health was shit. Someone asked, how burnt out were you after your testing? I'm getting tested in a few weeks and I'm scared. It's a valid question. I was also really scared. I think I purposely minimized the amount of things in my schedule the week of when I was doing like testing and Zoom calls and like the week after. So if you can just like minimize the responsibilities or even like the social things that you have to do in that time period, that would really help, just to like give yourself more time to recharge alone. If you recharge alone, I do. I think I just like minimized my responsibilities around that time. I definitely did get slightly burnt out. I think I was already burnt out though. I think I'm constantly just like at a low level burnout, but I'm really trying to prioritize like sleep and also like doing only one work thing a day. I'm trying to like really stick to that because it's been helping. So yeah, you're gonna be fine. I wasn't like that much more burnt out after my testing than I was before because I was already burnt out. So I don't know if that helps you, but don't worry, like you will be able to recover. Give yourself time to recover and you will be fine. Someone asked, has diagnosis given you more confidence and a sense of belonging? 1000%. I can't even describe how much more confident and sure of myself, and like also like I've been able to forgive myself. I think that's like a huge thing, is like I have been so hard on myself my whole life, and I'm like, and for what? And for what? Like, why am I torturing myself inside my head? Why am I being so hard on myself? Why am I being such a perfectionist? Like, it's so harmful. And so I feel like getting this diagnosis has just like made me feel like I can like take a deep breath and just know that there's others out there like me, and that I don't have to be so hard on myself because I know that I have a disability. Like, essentially it's a disability, and like it's valid to have limitations. And so like if I do have limitations, or I'm not able to do some things that other people can do, I'm not as hard on myself. So yeah. And it's really nice to like find a community that gets you, and like find people that get you. And like I only really surround myself with like other neurodivergent people because they get me, and that makes me feel safe and included and a sense of belonging. Yeah. Aww. Someone said, just wanted to say thank you. I'm starting my diagnostic journey and your videos are so helpful. Yay! That makes me so happy. That's literally all I want. Like that's been my intention for this, like sharing my journey online, because so many people are still really scared to talk about autism. Like even autistic people who've been, diagnosed for a while, like are still scared to kind of come out on social media. But in my head, I'm like, I'm used to people not liking me. Like people are gonna dislike me. Doesn't even matter what I do. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm used to it. And I think like already kind of being in a minority group as queer has made me develop a tough skin about that kind of thing. Obviously I still get upset, but like, yeah, I'm really glad I'm like sharing this because I think it's just so important, and I would have needed this. So yeah, you're welcome, and I'm really happy for you, and I hope that you get all the answers you need. Someone asked, how does having autism affect intimacy and sex for you? Love your content. Thank you. Yeah, it definitely affects it a lot. I also have a lot of trauma, including like trigger warning, like essay stuff. So I think it's really hard for me to let myself be vulnerable enough to be intimate with someone. My partner and I are like always communicating, because like we're both kind of on the same page about that. Like we have a lot of trauma around it, and our autism also makes it hard to sometimes, be close, be physically intimate, have sex because of like sensory sensitivities. And also just like, I feel like there's so many unwritten rules about sex that like we're not always taught, which is why I make sex ed content, which is why YouTube shouldn't be shadow banning me. But anyways, yeah, it makes it harder for my type of autism to have sex and like engage in physical intimacy. I was able to do it more so when I was masking. Like I almost feel like the way that I viewed sex like before my diagnosis, or way before like even this relationship, was like very much like a performative act. And like I'm an actor, I can perform. And so it sounds really weird to say that, but like I almost feel like I used to perform or like I would do so much research on like things to do in bed that like I would do it as like more of a, like I was like following sex rules. I don't know, like that sounds really weird, but now it's harder because I'm dropping the mask, and so I'm relearning like what my vibe is in bed. And yeah, I think like it's just really important to honor how you feel about it and communicate with your partner as much as you can. And also know that like I haven't really talked to any other like autistic couples about this, but we think that we probably have less sex than other people. But then again, like no one's openly talking about it, so who knows how much people are having sex. But like the most important thing is you're having good, communicative, amazing sex. Your sex feels good over the quality over quantity. So like if you're enjoying your sex, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter how much you do it, but if you are enjoying the experience while you're doing it, and if you and your partner are both having a good time, it doesn't matter how often you do it, because that's just very dependent on the individual couple. That's something that's like really helped me and my partner recently. Okay, someone asked, was the fight to get diagnosed worth it? For me, 100%. I think everyone's different. Some people might not need a diagnosis, but for me, I think just getting that validation from someone was like everything. It was literally everything. Like it was so worth it. It was worth all the money. It was worth all the time and the energy like put into it. I just feel a lot more at peace with myself and with my mental health, because she also diagnosed me with illness anxiety disorder at the same time. So I feel like I really also needed that diagnosis, and I just needed like clarity on my mental health, because I've been struggling with my mental health my whole life with having no answers, and like traditional talk therapy not always helping. So I think also just hearing someone, or also just like telling someone my story and having them validate me was so important. It was definitely worth it. Someone asked, did you have sound sensitivity as a child? If so, how was it handled? Yes, 100%. I had really bad sound sensitivity. I still do. I think that's probably my most difficult like sensitivity that I deal with, especially living in a city is so hard because like it's so noisy. There's so many like random sounds, like you can't really predict the sounds. But yeah, my mom told me that I used to like burst out screaming and crying if a boat passed by on the river and it made like a big like freighter, you know those like big cargo boats, and they make that big like sound. So I was born on a like riverside town. My house was not like super on the river, but it was still like in the city, and it was kind of in the distance. Apparently when those like freighter horns would go off and I was a kid, I would like scream bloody murder, and my mom would be like, what? Like what, why are you, what's going on? Cause like it wasn't even that loud. It was like in the distance, but for some reason like the frequency of the pitch like really bothered me. Another thing that really bothered me was cows mooing. Like for some reason like child Kira, like baby Kira could not handle the sound of like it doesn't bother me as much anymore. But yeah, my mom like has since told me that yeah, like you had a lot of sound sensitivities as a child, and I was just like confused about it. I just thought you were quirky. How did you find someone? Do they specialize in autism in women? So yeah, meaning like how did I find someone to diagnose me? Basically, it was kind of a happy accident or a happy like out of the blue thing. So I got on the wait list for free testing through Ontario, but the wait list was 2.5 years, and I really needed that diagnosis. So I was talking about it on my Instagram story, and then this girl that we're kind of like mutuals in the acting world, she's also an actor, she DM'd me and was like, I just got diagnosed. Your content has really helped me, but this is where I got diagnosed. And she was so helpful and gave me all the information of the woman that diagnosed me. She has her own private practice in Oakville, Ontario. Her name is Dr. Gail Goldstein. My assessment was $2,000. The wait to get an assessment time was probably a month or a month and a half. She might be more booked up now because I've been talking about her a lot on the internet, and I feel like I've probably referred a lot of people to her, but anyways, she's amazing. And the girl that helped refer me to her, she is also high masking. Like I've met her before. I never noticed that she was autistic. I never noticed anything different about her at all. Like we actually got along really well. She was really nice. I was like, oh, this girl's really awesome. So she has the same kind of autism as me. So I kind of like trusted that. I was like, okay, well, if you got diagnosed, I'm gonna get diagnosed by this person, because it's sometimes hard to recognize the signs of my autism, especially if I'm not comfortable or not like being my unmasked self. But yeah, she knows how to diagnose autism in women. Highly recommend her. Wow, I have so many more questions. I might do a part 2, we'll see. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of this. Comment below if you related to any of these things. Comment below if you have any more questions. I'm probably gonna do another one, so stay tuned for that. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah!